Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today I wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's going on with Bitcoin and crypto. Also, I have a few interesting things to show you guys that indicate that this bull run is definitely not over. Also, one source of FUD, and it could be the reason why Bitcoin has not been going up as of late. Now, before I get all that, of course, I'm not live streaming today. Most of you guys are used to watching me live stream. I'm at a remote location that is really bad when it comes to internet connectivity. I just have no signal. And if you're watching this, it probably took me like 12 hours just to upload. But to give you a hint of where I am, well, take a look at behind me. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful, right? So after I'm done with this, I'm going to go spend some time with the family. But man, internet connectivity is definitely lacking over here. But anyways, let's get started. So as you can see, Bitcoin is at 47.3. So it's been pretty much sideways for the last few days. It's Sunday now. Saturday was basically no movement. Friday kind of same way. Some of the altcoins did come up though. I've noticed some of the altcoins, some of the big caps, some of the L1s, even the metaverse plays, they started gaining momentum. So that's pretty good. What does that mean? Well, it means that retail investors are starting to put money back into the market, right? So that's always positive. But Bitcoin is kind of stalled where it is. But I do think maybe I have an explanation for that. Now, let's start with this. This is pretty interesting. According to the root, the reason why we've been having this sell-off, about 32% from the top, could be because of one major exchange, Coinme, which has been kicked out of China, liquidating, and all that Bitcoin is basically floating out there now. So, kind of interesting. It makes sense when a major exchange like Voyager, they're absolutely huge around the world, especially Asia. If they have to liquidate, they have to sell Bitcoin because they need to or they're forced to, then sure, it makes sense. But the thing is, though, all major exchanges have already left China. So I don't know if this is true. I don't know if there was something left open, like somehow the OTC market or on the down low or certain provinces that was still able to trade. So I don't know if this is exactly true, but it would make sense that there is some entity that has an enormous amount of Bitcoin that's been selling it off, right? It definitely could be exchange, or it could be just whales coordinating, right? Taking advantage of liquidations and liquidating all the longs, right? And keep bringing us down because of the greedy leverage traders. So whatever it may be, right? We just don't know at this point. We don't have enough data, but that's okay. That's okay because no matter what Bitcoin goes through, it always prevails. It always recovers and always comes back up. And I have a lot of things to show you guys that indicate that this run is definitely not over. So whatever we're going through, we will get through it. We will get through it. All right, so let's start out with a couple of positive metrics. For example, this one. This one is measuring the profitability of Bitcoin miners. And if they're too heavy in profits, they tend to sell off, right, to get some cash on the side or to prepare for a rainy day. This is measuring their profitability and where their chances of selling off. And you could see previous cycles in 2013, there was two tops, right? Both tops, you could see that it was high up on this PL multiple. And then you could see in 2017, it was high up there too. But this time around in 2021, you could see the first time we hit 64,000, it was climbing, but didn't get anywhere near top. And where we are now, even at 69,000, and of course where we are now, we're nowhere near the top. So this kind of shows you that according to miners, they're not looking to sell. So this plays into liquid supply I've been talking about a lot, right? As long as the miners are happy, they keep holding. That's going to be very good for Bitcoin. These miners, of course, they have all the power right now in terms of releasing new Bitcoins. So this shows you the miners are nowhere close to selling. And recently, we've been hearing a lot about these miners not only not selling, but also borrowing against their Bitcoin to buy more machines to mine. So if they're doing that, then they really don't plan on selling. So the days of selling Bitcoin from the miners may be over, and we have to thank MicroStrategy for that. because they came out with this playbook. Basically, don't ever sell your Bitcoin, borrow against your Bitcoin. So if that's the case and the miners are no longer going to sell, they're just going to keep borrowing against the Bitcoin. Well, that's very, very positive. That adds to the liquid supply going up, takes the new Bitcoins out of circulation, the new ones that are being mined. They don't ever hit the market, basically. They control it. And, of course, that decreases the overall supply, and that's pretty positive. And here's another one that's interesting for the same person, Crypto Caesar. So this is NUPA, which is net unrealized profit and loss. And again, this basically just measures when things are a little bit too overheated. And interesting enough, you'll see that in when Bitcoin hit about 64,000, it was right there too, right? You can see when it hits blue, that's basically euphoria. That's like, pretty good indicator that a reversal may be happening at 64,000. It almost hit blue and it came down, but you could see where we're right now, right around 47,000, nowhere close, right? So these two things, on-chain metrics, show that the bull run is definitely going to continue and it is not over. All right, just a few other things. MicroStrategy, I told you guys about how they they gave out their playbook, right? Now Michael Saylor is thinking about utilizing what he has and generating yield from it. This is something that he said he was not interested in doing before, but since he has so many Bitcoin, 120,000 Bitcoin, billions upon billions of dollars, he says he's open. He's open to yield. So does that mean that he's going to choose a provider like BlockFi, or is he going to create a service where you can actually borrow Bitcoin from him, right? So kind of interesting. He's changing his tune, but for the better. Again, he's doing this because he says he wants to be like everyone else. All the other rich people out there, like real estate people that never sell their real estate, they continue to borrow against their collateral, which is real estate, and then buy more real estate. And that's what he wants to do. If he's generating yield, he never has to sell, and he can use the yield money to buy more Bitcoin. So also very bullish, very bullish indeed. Also, this is interesting. Bitcoin's current holders are pretty much, a lot of them are new. More than half, 55% got in this year. It's actually really not a surprise. You think about it. This year, Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 69,000, right? So a lot of people finally got the confirmation they wanted that, hey, Bitcoin was going to continue on, was going to go higher, and they start buying in, right? It's always like that. People always wait for that confirmation, right? Unfortunately, though, a lot of these holders, they could have took advantage of Bitcoin at 3,800, which was bottom of March of 2020. They could have took advantage at 6,000, which we stayed there for like almost a year, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, right? But that's okay. Everyone gets into the Bitcoin on their own terms. And you know what? The more that we have inside the ecosystem, the better it is. Two other things. Number one is just to give you guys a reminder, Uniswap will be launching their V3 on Polygon in the next few days. So this could be very positive for Uniswap because they get to go on a network that is basically feeless, right? So it could draw a lot of attention. Also, draws a lot of attention to Polygon too, which has been an absolute terror. And finally, the weird news of the day is Radio Shack has been bought by none other than Tai Lopez. And you guys may have seen his videos before, his ads about knowledge and his garage full of books, right? And how it's more valuable than his Lambo. Well, he was dabbing in crypto, he was dabbing in all this stuff. Right now he's dabbing into buying bankrupt companies. So he wants to redefine Radio Shack through DeFi, through crypto. We'll see what happens. All right, that's it for today's update. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll try to come up with more videos in the future for this week, depending on how my internet is. But have a good one, guys. Take care. Until next time.